Hey everyone, what's up? Very good night in boxing. Devin Haney got the W. I know there's been this hate brigade when it's come to Devin Haney, and it started even back in the Lomachenko days. His hate really took took on to the next level when he beat Lomachenko, and then you had, of course, the fanboys that were claiming that Lomachenko was robbed. These people do this crap all the time. This is just what fanboys do. But before that, he was emailed the belt because he was actually trying to fight Lomachenko. And this is when Lomachenko was a very protected fighter. This is when he had the media backing and everything else, and he was the next Ali, and he could do no wrong, whatever else. He stepped up to the plate. He wanted to fight Lomachenko as a young man. Again, I've argued with some of you when it comes to drawing in his boots. One of you even, for some reason, compared Boots to Ali, which is insane to me. Ali won his belt when he literally just turned 22, or it was like the night prior or the day of when he beat Sonny Liston, by the way. I don't remember exactly. It's been a while. But, Ali was chasing Sonny Liston around. He made that fight. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen Boots do that. You understand? Now he's trying to, I guess, chase Ortiz. We'll see how that fight plays out. Ortiz is playing politics, but Boots has built his whole platform off of politicking as well. So I know some of you got double standards, but this is just the name of the game today. This is what fighters do. They duck. You understand? They don't want to fight nobody. It is what it is, Now it's accepted that the email champion status is legit, and it's because of fighters like Boots. But Devin Haney's case, like I said, he was emailed the the belt because the dude didn't want to fight. Lomachenko didn't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? So he went his alternate route. Him and his father, they paved their own way. They are their own businessman. When you had fighters like Errol Spence claiming to be businessmen, making moves and crap, Devin Haney and his father actually did that to a T. You know what I'm saying? And they did it at a young age. And the hate just got so crazy. I don't understand. And the dude's Muslim. I don't like Muslims. You understand? But always had respect for Devin Haney and his father. I always liked their relationship. I think it sets a good example for people. They try to split fathers away from their children apart today. They do it intentionally, guys. They really do. The family court system is rigged and everything else. It's going to favor the woman no matter what, even if you have evidence, things like that. They're very extreme in their approach. But it's good to see that, they just continue to do things. He's a three weight division champ. Boots, again, you got like 35 fights. Devin Haney's now, 27, I think now. But he's already accomplished more than guys who've had 10-year careers. You understand? Easily. You know what I'm saying? He definitely deserves to be on the pound for pound list. He continues to step up. The Ryan Garcia fight, again, yeah, there were steroids involved, things like that. Sometimes styles just make fights. Ryan Garcia, he ended up losing to Rolly. But yeah, he was bigger. And he was definitely on the juice. Whatever else is a fluke little night. It is what it is, man. It happens in the sport of boxing. Brian Norman Jr., he has no reason to hang his head low. He went out there and he fought. He has a very brawling style. But you could see early on in his career, he was knocked down before this fight. It was a Mexican fighter. I forgot the name. You know what I'm saying? He needs to work on his boxing skills, his boxing acumen, things like that. You understand? But here it is today. Devin Haney gets to tell everybody I told you so. And he continues to make haters look pretty stupid. As far as Benavidez, good fight by Anthony Yard. I mean, he hasn't really been doing much. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing too crazy to really gawk at this fight. Pretty much we all knew that Anthony Yard was going to lose. Benavidez, again, he's a great fighter. He knows how to place his shots. You know what I'm saying? He can adjust his shots. We talked about this in the past before. We know precisely why guys like Canelo were ducking Benavidez. Canelo, again, It's all about matchmaking with a lot of these guys, whether it's a Tank Davis, whether it's been a Duran in his boots, and that's been the case for Canelo Alvarez, and we've always told you this on this channel. It's fake it till you make it today. You know what I'm saying? Boxing has become very generic, but as far as Benavidez wanting to fight Bivol, I think that's a very good fight. They have similar styles. Both guys can place their shots, put their punches together. It's going to be a very good fight. Bivol, it's going to be a tough fight for him as well. We're going to see how he deals with the relentless onslaught, but he's a very smart fighter. He has great defense. He's not here to be flashy. He's here to just win. He's going to beat you off of fundamentals, things like that. But he can put his punches together just like Benavidez. I think Benavidez throws harder, puts more behind his shots, tries to hurt fighters more. It's going to be a good fight. Bivol, he's already been in with killers, so you know what I'm saying? I got it close to a 50-50 fight. I'm really looking forward to that fight if that is what they want to make. Bivol, of course, is doing surgery, back surgery at that, or some other kind of surgery. I don't know. He's banged up, okay? His ex-wife's been hating on him and everything else. You know, I think it's definitely a good fight. And Bivol, just back-to-back killers. I mean, you got to give the man his credit. He's definitely, in my opinion, easily around the top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. But again, I don't know how Benavidez is going to really handle that. Bivol, again, he doesn't go out there to try to knock guys out. But if you do go to sleep on him, he can hurt you. He can buzz you and things like that. And like I said, they both got pretty similar styles. It's going to be pretty cool to see both guys who can place their punches and throw a lot of punches and bunches when they do start throwing their combinations and things like that. We'll see if that fight does come to fruition. It's just early talks right now, but that's going to be a great fight. And, you know, as far as Terrence Crawford and the Canelo rematch, there's really not much to say about it. Canelo got paid $150 million. He's like in a 3 or 4 fight deal. You know what I'm saying? Some ludicrous number. He was going to do it bum bashing, but you know, I think they looked at the options. You know, if they want to go in other directions, I don't think there's going to be interest, especially coming off a loss. You know what I'm saying? This probably seems to make the most sense right now. Maybe Canelo thinks he can get back. Maybe he heard some criticism from other Mexican fighters. I think it was Robert Garcia that said he's not a real Mexican and whatever else. So you're back to that. We've talked about this before the Canelo Terrence Crawford fight, how, you know, originally you guys weren't even supportive of Canelo. He didn't fight the Mexican style and things like that. He only does it out of convenience. You know, he's getting outboxed and crap. We've talked about this. We covered it. It's a broken record. You know, his style is predicated on just scoring by throwing punches. Even if they don't land clean, he still gets credit for them. Even during the Crawford fight, you know, in my opinion, that was easily a 9-3 fight. You could have, you know what I'm saying? It was a dominant performance. You know, that's being nice and generous to Canelo. If you're using actual boxing scoring criteria, clean punches, defense, ring generalship, you understand effective aggression, not just throwing punches, because a lot of his shots were blocked. Even in the first round, they were giving him credit for punches that Crawford was blocking with his elbows and arms and things like that. You know, actual scoring criteria, it's very hard to give Canelo a round. He gets blown out in a lot of his losses. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's Floyd Mayweather, whether that's Bivol, you know, whether that's Terrence Crawford. Again, you have to be reaching to give this dude rounds. If, you know, you're using a scoring criteria that's not based off official rules, you understand? Official criteria, you're just doing it because you're trying to give whatever you can to Canelo. We've already covered this, but as far as a rematch, Bud, you know, what was so awesome about that fight as well is, I don't know if you guys played Batman Arkham, those type of games, but their combat system is called Free Flow. And Crawford got to a point where he was starting to free flow on Canelo. And of course, Canelo, he always gets frustrated in the fights. He managed to kind of kill that momentum with a headbutt in the 9th round after Crawford was just putting his shots together too crazy. It's going to be the same thing. Now Crawford has more confidence. Now the cat is out of the bag. It's no secret. And fanboys, I don't know how you guys can truly get yourselves up for this fight. You know, Canelo, to me, he's a guy, he's just worried about the money. And I'm pretty sure this is just a lucrative best option. Again, they saw the gate and everything else. They can still hornswoggle fans to go and go to the fight and things like that. It brought out a lot of stars, Jason Statham, you know, all kinds of people. It was pretty international for the most part. Like I said, you saw a lot of people from all walks around the world attending that fight. So I know that gate really destroyed. You know, it's probably not going to be as good as the first fight. The numbers are probably not going to be as good as the first fight, but you know, it's second best option. People have always tried to talk down on Crawford's star power, but when you actually look at the facts and the details and you actually do the research, he was proven in a lot of markets. I mean, even for a Amir Khan fight in Madison Square or New York, wherever they fought, you know what I'm saying? You still had around a 15 to 16,000 attendance. You know, Crawford has proven himself in multiple markets. Like I said, unlike a Spence, he did not need Jerry Jones buying his tickets and doing that scalp scheme that a lot of these promoters and people do today. You know, even Eddie Hearn, he does this as well. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather and Al Heyman got caught busted with this crap too. But you know, Crawford, he can pack a house. You know what I'm saying? Very underrated fighter when it comes to the selling and what he brings to the table. You know, but again, I don't know. This is all rumor, I guess, unless it's official. I haven't really looked, but I suspect this time Crawford to really do more of the same. We've already covered Canelo's problems and weaknesses. He lacks confidence. That's always been the case. This is why you cherry pick. This is why you even drain guys like Rocky Fielding. You're supposed to be this top pound for pound fighter. You know what I'm saying? And you're still shook. You have to drain a guy like Rocky Fielding, who's a D-level fighter. You understand? I don't even know how Rocky Fielding got into the professional game, you know, where he got to be televised and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Terrence Crawford, he moves up and he doesn't need to weight drain Canelo. Okay, have all your stipulations so that you feel good and better about yourself. You know, and we'll see what happens, you know. This is where Canelo will pull some moves where he has to fight fighters at weird weights, things like that. But again, who knows at this point? You know, there's still a lot not set in stone, just a lot of rumors and things like that. As far as Devin Haney, it looks like he is interested in fighting Conor Ben. What's good about that is, you know, Brian Norman and Ben, they kind of have a similar style. They can just come forward, brawl. There's not real boxing acumen. So I think, well, this dude, he's going to be stronger, but he is going to be moving back down. So he could be hurting himself doing that. So I have Devin Haney probably. It'll be a closer fight than the Brian Norman Jr. fight. You know what I'm saying? It won't be so one-sided, unanimous, but it will be a little closer fight. I'm thinking more around the realm of a 7-5. Conor Ben, I think he's a little bit more strong. He's got better constitution than Brian Norman, but they do have similar styles. Neither guy really possesses a jab and things like that. They just try to come forward and knock you out. So Devin Haney, it's going to be, again, you have the higher boxing acumen. If this fight does get made, you're going to be able to utilize the jab and things like that, but you're going to have to sit down on your punches more. This is 147. You know, we kind of saw this with Crawford. You know, the higher up in weight that he got, you know, his power seemed to carry up even better. The weight treated him a lot better. He didn't have to drain himself that much. You know, I think it was kind of similar to Devin Haney, but Devin Haney, he needs to learn how to sit on his punches more, you know. That's kind of the big problem. You can jab and you can even follow up, you know what I'm saying? and hurt guys and, you know, sometimes get a knockdown like he did last night, you know, but you're going to have to sit on your punches more at 147, especially fighting a guy like Conor Ben. You're going to have to gain his respect and things. Like, he's not going to respect you. Brian didn't really respect him. He kept coming forward, you know what I'm saying, and brawling and making an ugly, rough type of fight. So like I said, this fight definitely prepared him. If Conor Ben is next, you know, it'll make some money because, again, they're both kind of, you know, riding high right now. The momentum's going for both guys. So, and we know that Devin Haney, it doesn't matter if it's Australia, wherever he's got to go. He's willing to make a fight wherever it is to make money. Like I said, him and his daddy have done a good job, you know, very good job. And they're bouncing back very nicely from what happened with the Ryan Garcia fight. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I really got to say for now. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.